What is up, chat? Oh, I'm unranked. Hmm.
Match found. Heads up.
Alright guys, we got a crazy pod with Andrew Tate. This guy absolutely snapped. Before we get into it, if you have not tried out the Prize Picks app, you gotta download it right now. You guys know me, I've tried every single app when it comes to firing on sports. Prize Picks, hands down, no brainer, the best app out there when it comes to firing on sports. It just makes watching the game so much more fun because instead of just choosing a team, you're choosing individual players. So if you're smart with sports and you know what players are going to perform on what nights, Prize Picks, it's a no-brainer. This is the app for you. We also got you guys on a great code. Code NELK right here. If you put in $5, you get $50 free. Code NELK. Take advantage of that code if you've never tried out the Prize Picks app. Download it and plug that in. We got UFC this weekend, so stay tuned to our socials. We're going to be doing a community play with Prize Picks, and you guys can tail us. We got Pereira fighting this weekend and our boy Justin Gaethje, so we're going to be going big. Look out for our plays. Download it for your first time and use code NELK. Shout out to Prize Picks. Best firing app in the game. Let's get into the pod. All right, guys. We have a very, very special episode today. I'm always excited to have this guy on. This has been the third time he's been on the podcast. I think the only other person that's done that is maybe Trump and Dana.
Wow.
So Tate's one of the biggest supporters of the Full Send podcast. We had you on pretty early, but we're glad to have you back, Andrew Tate.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, the first one was Croatia. I remember. That got me in a bunch of trouble. Then it was Dubai.
Did that get you in trouble?
No, what did I say in Croatia? I said something about why men prefer younger women because they've been fucked less than older women, and the feminists had a mental breakdown. I think that was the exact reason I lost Instagram, to be honest with you.
Really?
That podcast, yeah.
Fuck.
So let's do it again.
Yeah, let's
I
do it
have
again.
nothing left to lose.
Yeah, you have nothing left to lose.
They've taken my freedom. They tried to take my money. Of course, they couldn't find it all. They've taken all my platforms. They took everything from me. So I have nothing left to lose. So let's do round 3.
That first podcast, I feel like that was at like, I don't want to say your peak, but was that when things were like really
Go, go,
getting
go.
fucking crazy.
So
for
let's
you.
analyze this. To answer that question professionally, we need to analyze exactly how fame works. And a lot of the fame in
I'm
the world
outta
today is
here.
gatekept, right? So if you join a sports team, your gatekeeper is your manager or your team. If you talk out of line or say things you're not supposed to say, you're off the team. If you're in Hollywood, you have a manager. If you talk or say things you're not supposed to say, you can't be in the movie or you lose your manager. And then the other gatekeepers are the social media platforms. If you're on YouTube saying things you're not supposed to say, you know when they delete you with Trump, when you interviewed Trump, they delete your channel, they delete you, so you're gatekept. I managed to get extremely famous without really having a gatekeeper. And for that reason, I was listening to everything back then. And their goal to gatekeep me was to delete me from all of the social media platforms, which they did, but that didn't work because people continued to share my content.
Last
You
player
weren't going viral
standing.
on your own pages. You
No,
were.
One
but you
enemy
were going-
remaining.
You invented clipping.
Pretty much. I guess.
Like you started the clipping era.
I knew how to say things that people wanted to discuss, which served me very well in the algorithms. And anybody who wanted views on their page could put up a video of me and get views. And on top of that, I wasn't copywriting anyone. I wasn't chasing the money off anyone. I didn't care. So there were people taking clips of me, putting them up, making arguments happen, getting paid off the views, getting paid off the
still
ad rev.
hungry?
I didn't
I'm
take
sure
a
my
penny of it.
pants
I
I
didn't
didn't care.
chase
even
after
realize
gang
that.
food.
Yeah, people made a lot of money
I
from
did, but
tape.
I forgot. You invented the clipping era pretty much. People saw you and they saw you getting clipped
Go,
up,
go, go.
including us. Like everyone saw it, and they're like, "Yo, this is a new way to go viral." And now clips are everything.
Now it's everything. But there's a double-edged sword because a lot of the things people think bad about me are from out of context small clips which are deliberately designed to be as
Find a weak
abrasive and
point,
offensive as possible
break it.
because it gets the most engagement. So some random kid in Peru can make money off AdSense and I didn't even see the money. So it goes both ways. But yes, back then was before the social media algorithms
I'm
were
outta
actively
here.
trying to suppress my
Walk
influence. So that perhaps was what keeping me seeing Andrew Tate everywhere. I like to believe you still see me everywhere. It's just changed. It's no longer YouTube in Croatia with
Heal
Nelk
up,
Boys.
squad.
It's on the dragging it out of jail. But I'm still there.
I remember the transition though, because I think the first thing I saw with you is when you sat down
Spike
with that
down, B.
like light-skinned British girl in like the bar.
Stand-up TV.
I don't know what it was
Last
called, but it was
player
fucking hilarious. I
standing.
saw that and it was funny. But I think on our podcast and like around that era, you would start to sprinkle in like because back then you were only talking about girls and kind of funny stuff, and then I would watch and I was really sprinkle in shit about how the world was working and corruption and like there was a little sprinkle of that on our podcast.
I'm outta
like the
here.
education system or just then you kind of switched into that and you went away from the females
Yeah.
and you started talking about just how the world works.
That's a lot of trouble, it seems. I should have just carried on clowning on women. I should have just carried on saying women can't drive. And maybe I wouldn't have ever had to go to jail. But
Do we mix it up?
it seems I did
Down?
shift to the
Let's
important
talk.
subjects after a while. And I say this often on nearly every single podcast. It's important people understand it, that your ability to speak freely is directly correlated to your insignificance. There's no such thing as free speech anywhere on the planet, including America. Nowhere, truthfully, can you speak freely. There are always subjects and things you cannot say, and if you touch on those subjects, it's fine unless people listen. You touch on the subjects in your living room with your friend when no one's paying attention. But if you have a large audience, it becomes very, very different. So, yeah, it seems like I flew too close to the sun just before my arrest when I was in Dubai after we did our podcast. I said to Tristan, we have to be very careful. This is the Icarus story. We're doing very well here, and we're everywhere, and everyone knows who we are. We're making huge sums of money, and there's too many beautiful women by our pool, and our house is so big. So many Bugattis, everything. This is the Icarus story. Something's going to go wrong. And then we all
This influential. You've been at this for a while. I know you've been in the kind of internet world doing different stuff, like entertainment, but did you ever think you'd be like this influential?
It's a good question.
Like you come to the US, everyone's fucking you and Tristan are like Batman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Did you ever think that would happen?
Well, the reason it happens is because so many people can't help but dislike me.
Last
It takes
player
hot and
standing.
cold air to create a tornado.
Spike
It's
down,
not the fact
mid.
that I have a lot of people who like hearing what I say. That's the fanfare my brother and I get. It's that there's a contingent of the population which are just settled on the idea that we're the worst men in the world, and that we're dangerous, and that we're terrible. So you have these two polarizing teams, these two camps. It takes light and dark. It takes
30
hot and
seconds
cold.
left.
Like I said earlier about the reason I
Match is
viral,
ready.
some of the people say he's 100% right, some people say he's 100% wrong. So I think I'm very good at saying things in a way which is as polarizing as possible, which puts me in this position. So yeah, my influence is based on the back of the fact that people like what I say, but it's also based on the back of the fact that there's a lot of people who cannot stand me.
When you were coming up though, like you obviously wanted to be successful, but did you like see this level of success
I
and
didn't
influence?
see anyone else saying things that I knew to be true. I would look at things and go, well, that's not true. But nobody else seemed to want to say it. Probably because of what we discussed earlier about your ability to speak freely is directly correlated. I got myself in trouble for what I did. So now I realize why. I mean, I always knew why. I kept saying before I went to jail that they're going to lock me up. After cancellation, I knew they were going to try and put me in jail. That was very obvious to me. But I don't think I could sit here and try and sound like a genius. But I remember saying in our initial podcast that it was a 3-stage plan. And stage 1 was to keep talking in a way that garnered me lots of attention, and then to get canceled on purpose, and then to move people from platforms which were not matrix controlled. That was the whole plan. The plan was, I'm going to go on these podcasts, I'm going to say things that everybody knows to be true. I'm going to garner a whole bunch of attention. Eventually, they're going to try and shut me down and silence me. I'm going to move everybody over to alternative platforms. And then the rest of it kind of all played out with fate, I guess.
Player standing. That
we moved people over to Rumble, and obviously Elon bought X. I had no control of Elon buying X, but I'm very glad he did. I moved people over to Rumble, which is a fantastic platform where you can tell the truth. And then Trump won. Thank you for Trump. So we're kind of here because if things were different only a few months ago at that election, I was Trump's assistant, I would be in a jail. And so would Trump. So would you. Everybody would. They just lock up everyone at that point.
Bullets hurt.
So it worked out well in the end, yeah.
So how's it like being back in Miami? We went out the other night. We went to dinner.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
Yeah.
Did you miss, like, you've been stuck in Romania for what? How long?
3 years.
3 years.
Long time.
Like, was it nice, like, seeing some Miami chicks, or like? What
you
was
know
your...
what? It's nice. It's actually nice hearing like American words around you. It's nice hearing English. It's nice hearing American accents. It's kind of reassuring to know that, heaven forbid, if something happens to me here and I go to court, I can at least talk English.
What'd you think of the Miami?
I'm retired from all those things now. I don't know what to say about that. That what got me in trouble in the first place.
Yeah, your wheels were a little bit rusty at dinner. I can't lie. I feel like I was kind of wingmanning you a little bit.
Of course, you're the big boss here. You're the guy.
No, but we were bouncing back and forth. But every single chick said they were in real estate too.
Oh,
that's just what you get in Miami. You are into crypto, or you're getting into crypto. You guys gotta use the Moon. Moon is the best app by far to buy and sell crypto. What I like about Moon is they have every goddamn payment provider on the planet on the app. They have Apple Pay, Venmo, PayPal, credit card, debit card. I can even use my ATM card.
Last thing
if
I
you're
need
holding
is
different
some
cryptos
hero
like
messing
Bitcoin,
things up.
ETH, Solana, whatever you have, you can check prizing about like the culture. Because I saw you at dinner. It was so funny. I'm sitting beside Tate, and there's music on. And Tate has a Shazam app out.
Yeah,
and he's Shazamming every single
the good
song.
Songs. Yeah,
every
yeah.
single song, and then you're adding it to a Spotify playlist.
It's
but
good.
it was like 10 bands, or like Energy by Drake. It was like songs everyone would know. Like, are you not listening to like any American shit at all?
No, I've been kind of disconnected from the States and the whole American culture. I've literally been 3 years in Romania and 2 years of that just in my house. So it's been a kind of a strange culture shock. It's
Here
nice
we
to
go.
know, but I feel like there's so much work to do and there's a lot of catching up to do. So it doesn't feel like I guess this is my personality as a whole, to be honest with you, no matter what situation I'm in. I'm never looking at something going, cool, I get to relax now, or cool, I get to chill. It's always, okay, how what work can be done? So I'm glad to be back in America. I was a bit disappointed by my welcome, but I've come to the realization now that the people who dislike me not because I'm guilty of anything, they just don't like me. So they're always going to hate me. It's fine. These charges are going to haunt my name for the rest of human time, no matter how innocent I'm proven, which is fine. So it's good to be home. It's also very nice to interact with real people again. I've had no negative things. It seems I have a lot of
Last player standing.
Everyone. But people are very fascinated by you, right? Like, even the chicks, like, they're kind of just, like, staring, like, yo, is this guy a fucking real person?
Well, I think that I have this strange reputation now. My enemies have given me the reputation of, like, a mob boss, a bad guy. Like, Tristan and I are the Gambino brothers.
Which is kind of sick, right?
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to be, like, the rich, famous bad guy.
Yeah.
So, and
No,
we're
you
not
guys,
even bad guys.
you guys are, like, real-life fucking supervillains.
Well, if you're like a cartel, let's say you're a cartel boss, right? You're in Mexico and you're doing real shit and you're chopping people's legs off and you're the head of the cartel, whatever. I mean, obviously you have motion, you have movement, but you can't go any city in the world and be feared. You're just going to walk into one city and Saint-Tropez, whatever, no one's going to know who you are. You're just a dude. Where Tristan and I can go in any city on the planet and they're like, oh my God, it's them, oh my God. And everyone kind of gets a little bit shook. I don't know why. We don't do it. We have dinner.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Yeah, so I have to thank my enemies for that. I also have to thank my enemies for how pathetically my brother and I enjoy this morning.
the biggest whiner.
Ben
Full
Shapiro
cats.
cries myself.
You went at him yesterday.
I'm out of here.
All these conservatives have mental breakdowns, but they do
Which
it in such a
sucks 'cause-
they do it in such a feminine frame. It's just hilarious.
Which sucks because I do like Ben too. I mean, obviously he says a lot of smart things. Like I've been a fan of him and I'm a fan of yours, which is like I feel like you guys are disagreeing on such like small things, right? I'm sure you guys agree on a lot of shit too.
I'm sure we probably agree that dudes can't chop their dick off and become a chick. I mean, but that's pretty basic. I mean, I struggle to disagree with that. I probably agree on that point with nearly anyone on the planet.
Would you ever do a one-on-one debate with him? Has that ever been talked
Spikes
about?
down.
I don't think he'd like to do it because
Spike
next
down,
to me on
B.
camera, he's gonna look extremely small, and optics matter.
I'm a fan of both of Ben and Tate. As a fan, I would love.
I'd love
Last
to
player
talk to the guy, but
standing.
he's just gonna look like a midget. He has the problem, which he's not that he's a very
30
small man,
seconds
he's smaller
left.
than
Full
us,
cats.
and he's gonna look
Blinded.
ridiculous sitting next to him.
One down.
That'd be good. What else do you have planned while you're here? I know we might go to UFC and Power Slap.
UFC Power Slap in Vegas, might do that.
Make sure to follow
I've got a
my
new penthouse
pack
I'm moving
in.
into,
Don't
gonna
leave
do
spots
that.
to the enemy.
I just
So you
spent-
got a penthouse here?
Yeah, bought a penthouse in Miami.
Wow.
Sold me. After that dinner with you, after hearing those few songs that I Shazammed, I thought, fuck it. So I bought a house here.
Do you think you could name like any popular songs?
Probably
Like
not.
what if we went like
I am the
what
worst.
if we went 10K a song
Guys,
right now?
I am the worst
Maybe
for
hold
popular
off for
culture.
a
You can
moment.
try it. I am shit at
All right,
songs.
let's do this.
I
for
don't
real.
watch movies.
Let's
I don't watch
do
TV.
25K a song.
Gotta go.
Well, I pay you if I.
No, you don't have to pay me.
Oh, that's free money.
So this
Let's
is
go.
pretty
That's
much
free
like
money.
this is like the jet to Vegas.
That's free
pretty much.
money. All right, let's go.
All right,
Let's go.
we'll do 4 songs.
Cool. But I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV. I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I don't know what all the cool kids
All
are
right,
doing.
you
I don't know
ready?
anything.
Scout destroyed.
No way.
Pull cats.
You gotta know this.
Sit down.
I've heard it before.
Last player
is it?
standing.
Fucking. You gotta name the title and the artist.
No.
Get him, wingman.
I can't name it.
No,
I know the song.
Last Night by Morgan Wallen.
Well, I know the song. I've heard it.
You don't love Morgan Wallen?
I'm
No,
good for
sorry.
3. Dizzy's
But
up.
I have heard that song.
Okay.
I've definitely heard
Mosh
it.
pit.
But I didn't know who it was by. I never
This
listened.
one, I know it's jazz
Got 4.
track.
Get on now. Clock ticking.
Is it?
Now I'm gonna guess totally wrong. I've heard
You
it.
can't
as well.
even guess it's right because you look like a bitch. Kind
No, it's either Ariana Grande or Dua Lipa. Both wrong? Ah, you fucking
Close enough.
Who?
Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter. Who the fuck's Sabrina Carpenter? I don't know who these people are.
I don't think he's gonna get any.
I know the songs. I don't know who sings them. It's not like the olden days where it used to matter who the artist was. Don't even know the song. 0.
Honestly, I couldn't even name this one too, but I know it's popular.
That sounds like that. What's her name?
Megan Thee Stallion. That's her. Close. Same shit.
Oh, I don't know.
All right. Well, we went also agree. That was Yaglo. Yeah. So you're. I mean,
Go, go, go.
I might
I'm
get roasted.
disconnected.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, it's kind of amazing. Music used to
go.
matter. Like the song will come out and it'd be the song of the summer. I'm old enough to remember this. How old are you? 30. I'm a real old man.
Spike carriers down.
So,
Pull cats.
I
Spike
don't know,
down.
one song would
I
be the
got
song of the
spiked.
summer, and everybody
Last
knows who
player
sung it,
standing.
and it would be the biggest track ever, and it would matter, and everyone would buy the CD, and you couldn't listen to it
I'm
free
out of
online,
here.
and you sit there and watch the music channel all day, waiting for it to come on. Now there's just so much music being pumped out on Spotify, it's ridiculous.
What
I
did you
don't know.
listen to growing up? Like what's like nostalgic for you?
The only thing that was playing in my house was my father's music, Bobby Womack. Usually, it was like soul.
One enemy
have
remaining. I'm out of here.
I really ever been that into music? I'm not sure.
Like
I
you
have.
listen to rock or rap?
I
or-
listen to everything, and I like everything. I like good songs from everything, but I would never say
30
I've ever
seconds
been really
left.
into music. I've never been to a concert.
Almost out.
Ever. If I hear a song, I like
I'm
it,
outta
but
here.
you know, I don't.
You hit a Morgan Wallen concert.
I mean, it's probably great. It's probably hot girls and cowboy hats.
Good place to fall in love.
I bet it is.
Spike
I bet it
planted.
is.
Go,
But
go,
I've just
go.
never been, I've never really been ultra fascinated with most things. I have this weird habit, which I'm going to admit now on this podcast, which will be used against me forever. But I never watch TV ever. And if I do watch TV, the only thing I watch are cooking shows. And I watch cooking shows and I get mad. They irritate me. But for some reason, I'm addicted, like a fly bumping into a lamp. I just have to sit there and watch cooking shows. And I get mad watching them because I'm sitting there going, okay, food is good, But the way these people talk about food and the mental breakdown they're having over food, like, are you fucking retarded? Like, who cares? It's cheese, bro. No, but it's the cheese and the cheese. Did you try that cheese? Oh my god, the cheese.
Go, go, go.
They missed the dinner.
Try
I
that
just
again.
sit there watching,
I
getting more
dare
and more
you.
frustrated until I eventually turn it off. Food is not that interesting. I mean, music's great, but it's not that interesting. I've never really been that into these things. I kind of feel like I've had a higher threshold for entertainment. And that has been a blessing and a curse. It's difficult to please, but if you're difficult to please, you're going to try and achieve amazing things.
Why
If
is
you're trying
that?
to achieve amazing things all the time, you're going to achieve amazing things. If you can wake up and have a cheese sandwich and put on fucking a song from Spotify and be like, today's great, well, then you're never going to do what it takes to go out there and actually be successful. If you wake up and say, I don't care about the food, don't care about the music, don't care about the sports team, don't care about the TV, don't care about any of that, I want a Bugatti, I want a jet, I want to work. So I've never been entertained by them. I don't find them that interesting. I'm not against them, and I know what a good song is, but I've just got bigger fish to fry.
Is that you think it's like a waste of time? I've seen you say that before. Does your mind just never stop?
I think my dopamine receptors are fucked. I mean, I grew up completely poor, and I had 87 professional fights. Because once you retire from fighting, normal life is bland and mundane. And then I had the whole webcam thing, and I had all these beautiful
You
women
should
working for me,
run.
and I was making money with that. And then that went bust, and I went broke again. Then I got filthy rich with Bugattis and private jets and hundreds of millions of dollars. Then I get thrown in a Romanian dungeon. Then I become the most famous man in the world. Then I'm stuck in Romania for 3 years in my house. Then I fly to Miami and land, and it's a hero. Everyone's fans there. Like, my dopamine receptors have been up, down, up, down. So someone goes, have you heard this song? I've done too many bigger things. It's like a man that's been to war, and then he comes back, and they're like, you wanna watch this movie? Really? I'm used to getting shot.
Fight till the
I don't
end.
give a shit about
No
this
matter
movie.
what.
It doesn't matter anymore. So,
At this moment in time, are you like,
I'm outta here.
happy?
I wouldn't say I'm unhappy in any way, and I would say I'm happy, yes, but the whole idea of happiness in and of itself is skewed in the Western world, especially in the masculine frame, because there's so many men who are waking up complaining about the fact they're not happy, which is the strangest mindset I think a man can have. Because as a man, how happy you are has absolutely
Let's
nothing
play
to do with how
slow.
you live your life and how you perform and what you need to do. How happy you are is a pointless measurement, so why do you do it at all? I would argue that as long as you're not distraught, as long as someone you love didn't die that day, heaven forbid that happens often, let's say a couple of times a decade, besides those days, you should be happy enough to go to the gym and perform and make your money and do what you need to do. Who gives a shit if you're particularly smiling or not? I think it's quite binary. This whole idea of how happy am I is the easiest way for a man to destroy his
What
life. You're
up?
chasing
How we
happiness, you're
doing?
running hedonistic garbage,
What's
and
up?
achieve absolutely nothing.
Yo, what's good?
If you wake up and say, I don't care how happy I am, I want to be proud of myself and I want to make other people proud of me, so I have to do all these things irregardless of how I feel, you're going to have a fantastic life. If you wake up and say I want to be happy, you're going to chase
Thank you,
silly hoes,
Isla.
drugs, and alcohol.
Well, that's temporary happiness, right?
But how else can you get instant happiness unless it's temporary? To get long-term happiness is something that's only going to come from dedication to hard work and hard work. That's something. Right? So if you're dedicating yourself and working hard for the future,
Last player standing.
especially
That's good.
what you get, you always want more. Your life just becomes hard work and dedication and struggle and suffering, and that's what you just exist within, and you don't operate under the
Happy to hear
paradigm of
that.
happy or sad. To me, it's quite binary. It's not a scale of how happy am I. It's just, has something terrible happened today? Am I distraught? No, then I'm happy.
Last round
It's
before the
almost like
switch.
there's no such thing as cold. It's just an absence of heat. In space, there's no cold. There's just heat or there's no heat. Well, if there's no despair, heaven forbid a family member dies. If there's no despair, then there's only happiness left. I was happy in jail. I'm happy here. I'm
Are you
happy in
trying
Vegas.
to
I'm happy
grind
there
on
resting. I'm happy all the time
Twitch?
because unless something truly
Um,
devastating happens, it's the only frame I operate under.
I don't know.
But to me, happiness isn't
I'm just
giddy,
on Twitch.
smiling,
I don't
look
know
at
if
me,
I'm
happy.
grinding.
That's for children and women.
I'm out of here.
And as a man, truthfully, you get your
There we
contentment.
go.
You achieve your contentment through making others happy. I feel content when my son is happy. I feel content when I make my woman happy. I get more from giving than receiving.
Yeah, I'm climbing silver, but
Dad never gets it. We give, we go to work, we struggle, we make money, we suffer.
I think,
Others be happy because of
we
it.
might lose this match,
One enemy remaining.
and then I don't know where they're gonna place me anymore.
I'll throw you a bitch. Because that's not what you're supposed to do. As a man, you're supposed to wake up and say, all right, my life might be shit. I'm gonna suffer.
Yeah, I'm bronze 3, but
Every single person I love
it's a new
is going to
season,
be happy.
so
Instead, So you
I don't know. I don't know if I'm bronze 3 anymore.
give them the happiness.
So happiness
This is
is
like
a
the
bonus.
placement match.
Because you can still take care of the wife and the kids and like be jacked and be happy.
Of course, you can be, but it's not the be all and end all of the masculine imperative. Truthfully, if I had to choose between being happy or being competent, if I had to choose between being me with my instruments and my competency, plus all of my stress and headache, or being happy as a nobody sitting in the park doing mushrooms, staring
Switching
at clouds
sides.
like a dumbass, I would choose to be me. Clearly, because I did.
What's
So
your
I think
peak
as a
rank?
man, I'm
Silver.
competent and capable.
My friends,
But
my
let's
friends
be honest,
use my
unless you're
account,
competent and capable as a
and they've
man,
gotten me
you're
to
not
gold
gonna
before,
care.
but
You can't even love anything.
but,
unless you're capable.
That was funny.
No.
No, you're right though.
I think
No,
my
this
peak rank is
important,
like silver or
'cause
something.
This is why, you know, when girls
I'm watching the Andrew Tate podcast with
who are like saying, "I love you
Full
so much,
Send.
I love you," and the girl doesn't give a shit that the loser dude's telling her that he loves her. Why is that? Because the female is smart enough to understand on an intrinsic level.
Go, go,
that
go.
As a man, if you have no capability to give
Go,
her,
go, go.
if you have no competence, if you have no skills or use case, that your love is completely useless. It's like if you have a brother beside you who says he loves you with all his heart, but he's a complete pussy and he can't fight and you get attacked. What's his love worth? What's his love worth? So as a man, if you want to say, I love my wife, I love my children, I love my friends, I
taking
love
some
the world,"
motivation.
you can only have a love that is valuable if you're competent and you're capable. And you're only going to have that if you suffer.
I think
So
this
if
is
you
like
wanna
his
have the ability to
first
love other people,
podcast
if I want to be a person who can wake up and realize
Spike
I
planted.
in the
truly love
US.
myself, I truly love my woman, then the only way I can do that is to suffer enough to be a man whose love has value. If I wake up and say I truly love the people I care about, but
Last
I want to be
player
happy,
standing.
so I'm going to go and sit in the field and take mushrooms and be a dumbass. Well, then my love is going to be valuable. When they call me and say there's a problem, Andrew, you love me, fix it, I'm going to say I can't. And men are nothing
We know
but
what we're
success
doing.
objects.
Trust
We are
each other
valued
and we'll
by
be
what
fine.
we can do. We are competency objects. Females are sex objects. Men are what can he do? What is he good at? That's all we're measured on is our capability. I think happiness is the easiest way to destroy your own capability because you're too busy doing dumb shit. So when you ask me that question, the reason I gave such a long answer is because how happy I am doesn't cross my fucking mind. I wake up and I have things to do. I have bills to pay. There's millions to make. I'm going to do this podcast. I'm going to go home and then I need to train and I have a whole bunch of other stuff to do. Then I have to fix everybody else's problems. Then I got to talk to my
I'm outta
children.
here.
Everyone's life is great but mine. Mine's been long, stressful, and busy. And I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do it again. There's no time for me to be happy in any of this equation ever. And if I choose happiness, if I decide to be happy, then I can't love the people I love properly. Because then I become useless.
All right, guys, if you are doing any type of e-commerce online and you're not using Shopify, you're making your life way harder than it needs to be. You guys know how crazy our full send merch drops got, and the reason it all ran so smoothly was the business behind the business was Shopify. We use
Enemy
Shopify
spotted.
all throughout every single stage of full send from the very beginning
Go,
to
go, go.
make sure we got our stuff to you guys hassle-free. Shopify is such a good deal, it even allows us to offer you guys free shipping with purchases of $100 or more on our new UFC stuff and Happy Dad stuff. Go check
You're
it out
not
at
using
fullsend.com
any
right
overlays right now? No, I'm
Shopify's
not.
got your back with the #1 checkout on the planet. And with shopping where they're like, what do you think? Go to shopify.com/fullsend, like I said, and start your business with us. What do you think is the biggest reason that
Spike down
a lot of
A.
males are not elevating, where they're like,
30 seconds left.
you know, you hear people talk about that all the time now.
Because they're trying to be happy. This is a fucking psyop.
One
This is
enemy
the biggest
remaining.
psyop that
What
needs
is
to
the
be
rare
Spike
company?
planted.
It's my YouTube channel.
Full-grown men waking up talking about, oh, you know, I just feel a bit down. You're not a fucking girl. You're not a kid. What do you mean you feel down? You're not in a trench in Ukraine. What do you mean you feel down? Name a period of human history where men were ever happy. Ever. You were either in a field plowing, in a field getting shot, marching at a cannon,
Last
sitting
player
home
standing.
hoping the barbarian hordes don't arrive on horseback to decapitate your fucking wife. When have men ever been happy ever?
I thought
It's
some
easier
type
than
of
it's ever
company.
been. It's
Yeah,
easier
in the
than it's ever
future it
been.
will be.
You haven't even got to go to
Match
war.
point.
All you have to do is
Hiccup.
wake up,
Don't get
not
stabbed.
be a
Bad way
dipshit,
to
find
go.
some money, buy a half-nice
Go, go.
car, get a half-nice apartment. Then you can fuck endlessly. You're still not happy? Well, then you're an idiot.
So you think it's about perspective?
I think it's about a bunch of selfish losers who are having the fem-centric psyop permanently ingrained inside of their minds of this endless chase for giddish, childish happiness. The happiness
Take
you
a nap.
felt when you
We can
were
do
5.
this.
No
newsflash,
shot.
The happiness you felt when you were 5 years old is gone. and it's never coming back. Those Christmas mornings that you enjoyed are gone. You are a grown-up. You are a man. Now, a woman can feel that. You can put a woman on a jet and take her somewhere she's never been, and she can be in love with you, and she can feel it like a kid. Your children can feel it. You can give it to others, but you are never going to feel it yourself. And if you chase
Have
it,
you got
you
any
end up
plans
on
about
drugs,
getting one?
doing dumb shit, losing everything you've ever cared about.
Getting what?
So just forget about happiness.
An
Forget
overlaid?
about it. You're
No.
not supposed to have it. I will genuinely state, and I state this as a matter of fact.
One enemy remaining.
Here in my ass than I do. Perhaps I feel I have more I can get done here. I feel more achieved. I feel less frustrated. True, because I was very frustrated in jail because I was constrained and I had lots to get done. But in terms of actual happiness, the level is basically exactly the same. Nothing's
I'm
different.
out of here.
Nothing's different. I wake up and I have things to do. I'm going to do them to the best of my ability. Half in jail, I'm constrained. It's a little bit harder. I get half an hour on the jail phone.
On
I
and low.
Here, I get a nice iPhone. I can text everything and get it all done.
Clean
But my
slate.
happiness is exactly
Let's
the same.
leave whatever
Well, what's your
happens
best
in the
advice to a guy
past.
that's been like rejected or cheated on by a girl?
Well, he probably deserved it. I don't give a fuck about these pussies either. Because we're men. You have to take accountability
go.
for all these things. What do you mean rejected by a girl? I don't get rejected by girls. Why? This is an
I'm outta
interesting
here.
question. A guy will come up to me and go, a girl's reject me. I'll say, okay. Well, they don't reject me. He goes, oh, that's because you're big, strong, rich, and famous. Well, then you have the answer. Get big, strong, rich, and famous. Why you're a skinny little pussy? So, what do you want me to do about it?
Go,
Women
go.
are a fantastic litmus test. Women are the mirror of the world. That's what they are. The way women treat you tells you everything you need to know about you. Because we can complain about women all day long, but I'll sit here and say women definitely shoot their shot, and women are definitely loyal, and women definitely obey, and they'll clean your room, and they'll make you coffee, and they'll share you, and they'll do anything
Last
you fucking
player
say.
standing.
That's what I'll say, and people will go, oh, only for you. Well, why is that? Because I'm highly achieved. So if you want to sit at home and be a loser and be a nobody
planted.
and not try and not dedicate yourself and not suffer and not display value, and then you expect some fucking hot girl with all the choices in the world to choose you and give a shit about you crying that you're not happy, well then you're a dipshit and you deserve to be cheated on. in life.
Attackers win.
As a man, every single thing that happens to you in your life, you absolutely, completely deserve, including that woman cheating. Because she wouldn't cheat on everyone. There are some complete whores, fine. But then, we go deeper down the rabbit hole. If you're dating a girl who's a complete hoe,
Oh, I'm
who
still
cheat on
bronze 3.
absolutely
Okay, that's
every
cool.
single man she's ever with, why are you even with her? Or why do you care when she cheats? Take her for a spin and say, I don't give a fuck. You're falling in love with tramps, and then you're emailing me for advice. Well, you're a dummy. There's plenty of good girls out there that will never cheat. You just can't get them because you're a pussy. Right? We can't psyop the entire female population. Women with unlimited options, which is what they have via their Instagram profiles. Unlimited options to choose a shit option. I can't sit there and say, here's what you say, bro. Here's the magic word to make her blind and dumb. You're a fucking dipshit. So that's why you got cheated on. Perhaps if you looked in the mirror, you could identify exactly why she did it. You could look in the mirror and say, was this actually my
Match
fault? And on
found.
some level it is. It always is. The only way you can succeed in life as a man is if you take absolute responsibility for everything all of the time. You have to sit there and say, every single thing that happens in my life is my fault. Even if it feels like it's not. Even if she cheats on you, every man goes, she's a hoe, she cheated, her friends made her do it, she went out, she drunk, da-da-da. Well, why is she hanging out with those friends? Why didn't you stop it? Because you told her not to hang out with them, she didn't respect you enough. So why doesn't she respect you enough? Your fault. Your fault. Why are you falling in love with a girl who doesn't obey you? Because you have no other options. Whose fault's that? Yours. Simple. You're choosing bad apples because you ain't got any good ones.
When your boy's dating like a big like hoe though, sometimes it's tough to tell him like, bro, your girl's a hoe.
Just laugh at him. Just laugh at him. Just say, yeah, she's a slut and she's gonna cheat on you. And then she cheats and just give him no sympathy. Welcome to the real world, motherfucker. I told you. Like, but the amount of times I get asked about girls by dudes who don't deserve pussy is ridiculous. You're asking me about girls and you're worried about girl cheating. Bro, you're poor. You are broke and you are weak. What the fuck are you talking about girls for? You have bigger concerns to address. Like it really is amazing to me because I get this all the time. People come up to me randomly on the street. Oh, hey man, yeah, I love your content and my girl. Your girl, you got skinny arms, pussy. What are you worried about your fucking girl for? It's unbelievable. If you get your shit right, It's amazing how quickly everything else falls into place. The best way to be good with girls is to be good with everything besides girls. If you're good at business and you're good with people and you're good, your body's in good shape and you're charismatic and you're smart and you're interesting and you're wise and you got a good network and a fucking yacht and a Bugatti and a jet, guess what? You can't get rid of them. You can't get rid of them. Before you know it, you have so many in your house, you get accused of human fucking trafficking. That's what
So
happens.
this is the
If you
project
get your
that
shit
sat
right.
my funding all those years
But
ago.
of course, you're gonna sit there and only focus on the girls with none of the other stuff. DMing them all day. What do I DM a girl to make her reply? You got 42 followers. What the fuck you want me to say?
That's the funniest question. What do I DM a girl? Yeah.
But this obsession with girls, bro, girls are a mirror. Girls will tell you everything you need to know about who you are. And you need to start listening to what you're being, you need to listen to the feedback. Listen to the feedback and improve yourself. You can't blame women for trying to get the best they can get. And the sexual marketplace has drastically changed now. It's completely globalized. It's completely online.
I guess, yeah.
There's no such thing as finding a hot, little, beautiful girl from a small town. She's got 2 million followers. So it's all online. It's endless competition with men all around the world. From the age of 18, they're being offered to fly out to Sydney, Dubai, Singapore, Tokyo. This is the game now. So you have two choices. You can either cry your eyes out about it, or live in some delusion where you think I'm going to give you advice that's going to stop you from being a pussy, or you can compete. And if you want to compete, then you need to be ultra self-accountable. When you compete in anything, how do you do it? Self-accountability. Doesn't matter what it is. You can be a basketball player, you can be a chess player. After the game, you analyze the game. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? You should be doing that in your life with everything.
Like after every day.
Well, after every day, but after everything all of the time. When's the last time you looked yourself in the mirror?
Why am I
said,
lagging?
System man,
One enemy remaining.
Hey niggas, I need you to call your flight test, homie.
The answer is always yes. I could do better. Of course I could. But I'm honest
Last
with myself
player
about it. How
standing.
close am I to optimum? Right?
I think I'm
What
ping
about you
spiking.
would even be attractive to a girl? Or if a girl's acting a certain way or she ain't listening to you, why isn't she listening to you? Right? But most people don't want to self-reflect. They want to blame the women. Which is the problem with the red pill.
Even
They
just
go,
not women, it's easier to blame someone else. Even in your work, it's easier to blame someone else than yourself.
well, everybody always blames everybody else for
Spike
everything, which is
planted.
why they never succeed and win.
I know.
I
it's not
blame
about-
myself. I blame myself for everything. I blame myself for the Matrix attack that put me in jail, even though it was a setup. I blame myself. I blame myself for absolutely everything. I blame myself for getting wet in the rains. I didn't want a
Yes,
fucking
sir.
umbrella. I don't cry in the clouds like a dumbass. So you have women with all these choices on their plate, and you have the men who basically are so busy doing other fantastic things they don't want the women who are getting them. That's what's so interesting. The men who are getting the women that everybody's chasing are the men like me who don't really even want them. I don't want to hang around with a bunch of fucking girls. It's boring. And I don't mean it disrespectfully. I wake up, I'd rather make money, do interesting, big, important things than sit around having fucking date night. I don't want to sit there and hold hands and watch a movie. It's gay. I don't want to hang out with girls. at
How's
all.
that gay?
Because it's gay.
But you're holding hands with a girl.
Yeah, but who hangs out with girls in high school?
In high school.
When you're in high school and you see a dude hang out with a bunch of girls, what is he?
Oh, well, I mean,
He's gay.
there's gay guys that have a lot
Of
of
course,
girlfriends.
right.
but-
So
Oh, wait. I wouldn't say watching a movie with a girl's gay. though.
No, the point I'm making is,
How
as
long
a
have you
man,
been playing
obviously you
Valorant?
have romantic interests with a
Oh, since
female.
it came
Obviously
out.
You want progeny and children. Obviously, we all feel love.
I don't know when it
wanna
came out.
protect and provide
2 years
and
ago,
care
3
about
years ago.
things. I understand all of that. But if you're a man who's truly busy in your empire building, you don't want to sit around with girls all day. You don't want to hang out with girls as your best friend.
Gotta go.
Your girlfriend doesn't need to be your best friend. She's your girlfriend. We're a different category. I wake up every day, I'm with my brother, I'm with my guys. We have an empire. We have work to do. We have very important things to achieve. We work all the time. We get all of it done. My girlfriend's around sometimes, but there's none of this me and my girlfriend are best friends.
Spike
We have the same
planted.
interests. That is gay. That's what gay dudes do. There's a whole bunch of men in relationships with girls who are gay. Yes. But straight men were too busy making enough money to have a third yacht, and then before you know it, all of the gay men who were chasing the real actual those hot girls end up on our yachts. And they're not hanging out with us.
Wanna
Turn
learn
off this podcast. I'm good.
Yes, here's the dress.
I'm
That's
gonna leave it
one of
Where
on.
do you draw the line on like the games?
Last
too? So
player
if I have a girl,
standing.
no holding hands, no dates.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
I can't
that-
take her golfing.
No,
or, like,
of course
what if we
not.
both like
I'm
golf?
not, I'm not saying that because
'Cause I don't want to be gay though.
no, of course.
But I did date a girl and we both like
There's
golf.
a bulldog here.
So now I'm kind of questioning my sexuality.
Close. No, the point I'm making is that there's a lot of men who feel like, in fact, let's analyze this another way. Let me make it clearer. How potent you are as a man directly correlates to how much time you have to dedicate towards nearly anything. Doesn't
Breach,
matter
can I
what
get
it
your
is,
ghost?
Right? If you have strong alcohol, you need less of it to get drunk than if you have weak alcohol. So you have men who perhaps are not that important or that successful or that capable or that interesting or that battle-hardened or that rich, whatever it is. They're normal men. The only thing they have to give a woman is time.
I could lower
That's
it
all
for
they
you.
have. They have nothing else to give. So they spend all of their time with a girl all of the time, which means they end up basically being her best friend and shared interests and all this stuff, which is fine. But if you're a really interesting, capable man, you don't have to do that because you're doing other interesting things that big king-making empire builders do. And yeah, you see girls sometimes, but they're not your best friend and they're not your primary interest either. They're the side effect of your monumental achievements. It's very different than being sitting there with a girl all day every day and saying, she's my best friend, I couldn't live without her. Yeah, we share the
Spike
same hobby.
planted.
Oh my god, we like the same movies. Yeah, we do the same thing. That's very different than me and T saying, okay, all right, we have to fly to Istanbul to check on our yacht. Which girl's coming? Yeah, come. Put them on the jet in the back so they can talk girl shit. And just talk fucking yacht shit. It's different. It's just a different mentality. It's really not that different. Don't you remember when you were growing up, perhaps the 8 years makes a big difference. When I was growing up, the men sat with the men and the girls and the wives and the children sat on another table. That's how I grew up.
Last player standing.
I'm out of here.
Nowadays, it's gotten so fucked up. You got the men and the women, the husband and wife all together on the same table. The men are trying to have a conversation.
Almost out.
Some dude's wife fucking pipes up. Some wife
I'm outta here.
8 full-grown men with her opinion that she fucking heard from Whoopi Goldberg. What the fuck? No, I didn't grow up that way. I grew up when men are talking. You don't interrupt men are talking. It's the man's table. Men are talking. That's how I grew up.
Don't want to take you out,
Of
say.
course, and she had her job.
I
You had
got
your
a-
job, but you're busy doing things with the men. That's how you grew up. That's why I live with my brother and my team still to this day at 30 years old. We have a huge mansion. Us guys live together. We wake up every day. We get some fucking money. That's it. But if you wake up every day with your girlfriend and want to make TikToks, and some dudes do. They wake up every day with their girlfriend and they make those TikToks.
That shit's gay.
Oh,
I'll agree on
thank
that.
you.
That's
They're like fake argument with a pillow and like, oh, you're fucking homos.
Gotta
You're
go.
homosexuals. I don't give a fuck how straight you think you are. You can have gay sex with a bitch.
Bye bye. Gotcha. Go, go.
It's
my turn. Suck it.
Only gay men. And truthfully, I'll say something else controversial because I may as well get myself in trouble. I'm good at that. There's also a whole bunch of men who are obsessed with women that don't have children. A relationship is
All rear remotes. Yup.
Launching thorns. Thorns activated.
A ring means nothing. Bouquets mean nothing.
Last place. Not ready yet.
It's all bullshit. Until you have a fucking child with a woman, it's all just
One enemy remaining.
I see dudes crying their eyes out over women who left them. Oh, she left me. How long were you together? Oh, 2 years. And you got a kid? No. So what the fuck were you doing? TikTok? 2 years with a woman that she's left. It was a waste of time anyway.
Spike
so a relationship's
planted.
not even serious. If a woman doesn't even give me a child, why the fuck would I sit and listen to her crap? Why am I gonna sit there? Of all the people, I could talk to you, I could talk to PBD, I could talk to Trump, I could talk to all the most important, interesting people on the planet, but no. Instead of doing that, I'm gonna sit there and listen to her with her opinions. She didn't even give me a kid. What the fuck's she gonna talk about?
Last player standing.
Like if I was dating a girl for a year, don't you gotta be careful like who you have a kid with?
Why?
Like that girl's gonna be in your
You
life.
should also have some funny
Well, you're still
character
gonna have to
notes
interact
like
with the
this.
kid. He's gonna text,
Not your day.
hear-
Maybe one day.
You know what it is?
What, you think I'm overthinking that?
Of course you are.
They think
Because
they're better than us.
It's
I don't
a
know.
I can tell.
maybe I'm just more militant. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe I'm just
Well, you
like,
definitely are, but
Well, no disrespect.
I'm outta
Busy,
here.
See you in 6 months. Send kid here. Thanks. The fuck?
so that's how you handle it?
Yeah, like I'm busy.
It's just all over text?
I'm busy.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
mean,
So it's just like drop them at the front door.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to offend them, and they know me well enough to know that it's not offensive. I've just got important things to do. I don't have
okay.
time to sit around, go golf. You're my friend. But no, you know what I mean.
You don't like golf?
Take this.
Spike down B.
Coming through.
Let me surmise, because I've said a lot. Elon is putting rockets in space. Elon
Maybe one day when you
is important member.
open your own. Exactly.
Gotta go.
Oh shit.
Sit around here.
Exactly.
Spike down. Attacker
Back up.
spawn.
Of Elon's
One enemy
monumental
remaining.
We're very close.
Sit around and play voice
Gotta go.
and watch your shit movies with the chick. He knows it, and she should know it.
Spike's here.
They should have a kid. He should go back to work.
Go, go, go.
That's what he should do, because he is a very important.
Enemy spotted. Flawless.
Fuck all else.
I'm out of here.
On which IG you're active on?
Out of charges.
Both of them.
What do you think about Elon when he took over X? Did you get reinstated right away?
I got reinstated right away.
I just don't post that much.
A real G. He put me back on right away.
Were you surprised by that?
I guess I was kind of surprised, but then to be honest with you, I think any of the social media bans against me are ridiculous. I don't know what I'm even banned for. What am I banned for? Jokes and saying women can't drive and stupid things? So I got banned for basically nothing.
Give me 1 second.
Elon shows that when a CEO comes along who understands the truth of the world and isn't woke mind virus obsessed, that you can instantly get your platform back. I think the CEO begins.
Yeah, we met him at the inauguration and it was crazy. So like we said, our Trump interview got deleted 2 years ago. So
I remember that was insane.
it was insane, right? So, and then we went to this YouTube party. The CEO of Google was there. The CEO of YouTube. And it was an inauguration event. So PBD was there too. Friedman, and then there was a TV, and on YouTube, all the
Go, go, go.
people had done with Trump leading up to the election.
Spike planted.
In the corner, and I'm looking at the TV, and I'm like, this is a fucking YouTube event. Like 2 years ago,
140 sage mid.
our shit got deleted with Trump, and that was his first podcast he ever did.
Yep.
I think they're probably following the money at the same time, but the YouTube CEO seemed like, you know, he knew.
Last player standing.
He knew all about our channel, so it seems like they're obviously gonna have to get a lot more in touch with everything,
yeah,
right?
it sounds like he's a balanced. And they've all said he's a pretty sensible, smart guy. So I mean, a reinstatement on YouTube.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
They need to bring back our boy Steve.
Let's
too.
do this.
Yeah, of course. I really think they should have done a hard reset, to be honest.
Alright, I'm
Once Trump
back.
won again,
Sorry about
everyone who's
that.
banned should just be unbanned. Let's reset. Let's start again.
Thank you.
Let's see
Thank
who's
you for the
involved.
follow.
Even there's a lot of people who were banned a long time ago whose opinions
nice
may
of you.
change. They may now be saying things differently than what they used to say, or the public perception about certain things like COVID has completely changed. You get banned for COVID misinformation. Now we all accept COVID was a huge scam. So I think they should just do a blanket hard restart. You can always reban something. If YouTube were to reinstate me and think that I would have said things that were so devastating and dangerous they need to ban me again, then fine. But I think standing ahead.
I'm out of here.
I think
like
that
they're all-
that's what Elon did.
Yeah.
Elon just blanket pardoned everyone, put everyone back, and decided who gets to stay and who doesn't.
Running low.
And it turns out I get to stay because I say very important, interesting things, and I'm not even breaking any of the rules. I've never had a strike or a lockout, and no problems on it. So I think that's
Seems like
Spike
they're all
planted.
Even Zuckerberg, they brought Dana on as.
Guard, move.
Meta still has to reinstate me. But I feel happy knowing Dana's on the board. I've never met Dana. I've never spoken to him. The fact he's on the board means the board is ridiculous.
There we go.
One enemy remaining.
What I like about Dana too
Nice.
is like, I'm sure the UFC sometimes gets a lot of pressures from their advertisers too. Like if you see someone like Sean Strickland or I don't know if you've seen the Bryce recently, where I'm sure in the background they get a lot from sponsors and
Level
business
heads until
deals,
we're
but
home, yes?
Dana just
I need
stands
a
on his
weapon.
2 feet and just says like, "Yo, I'm not
Gotta go."
telling my players what to say."
Fantastic. Fantastic. Because once you start policing people's speech, it's only downhill. You know, we know that. We know that from the last 4 years of how this country got trodden to the ground. So yeah, I think it's fantastic. And I remember with the Bryce Mitchell thing, Dana said, look, I don't agree with it. I think what he said was stupid, but he's allowed to say it. That's the most sensible. What is possibly wrong with that point of view? That is so ridiculously sensible. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And the fact that Dana sticks up for his fighters as well, which is what you'd expect of somebody who runs the organization you fight for. Absolutely admirable.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, he is.
What else do you have planned while you're in the U.S.? Is there anyone else you're gonna link up with? I saw what's good with the Kanye interview.
Yeah, Kanye tweeted at me. We kind of spoke a little bit. We had a conversation.
You guys spoken on the phone?
Yeah, we spoke on the phone. Someone's A. I would love to have that chat with Kanye. I think that would be an interesting one. It was certainly something. We'll have to see how it all comes about.
You had your fun.
Yeah, I'm being
Watch out.
I intend on being
22 on
for a
kick.
very long time. So we're not doing everything at once. We're gonna let it slowly.
Yeah, he might.
Spike down. A.
One gen.
Hopefully digest it. I like to think that my ideas sometimes need to be thought about a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of space it out a little bit. And I'm also gonna
You
try
will
and
not
find
kill
some
my
time to
allies.
said all that crap about happiness. We need to do something. I don't know. What can we do in America? We can shoot guns. Is that it?
You could shoot guns.
All right, we can go shoot.
What else do you like? Like, go to the beach.
One enemy remaining.
We bring enough body bags.
Well, that's fun then. I love racing cars. What I loved about living
Please
in
stay
Europe was
alive.
driving.
I hate
Because
making
in
new
Europe,
friends.
you can get a Lambo, you can drive it however you want. And they have these crazy mountain roads, and you can race around through the mountains and all these beautiful sceneries. And the police would stop you eventually for speeding.
I'm
but
out of here.
They'd just take your license, and you were only half an hour from the next country. You just leave France into Italy and carry on driving, even though you lost your license in France 30 minutes ago. It was a lot of fun.
Because I feel like when you do some things for yourself, if you do 1 hour for yourself and then 23 hours on work, I feel like those 23 hours may be more productive too, no?
But
Oh,
I
wait.
love racing around Europe. That's the one thing I can say. I
Go, go, go.
really for fun. There was no objective. There was no pertinent objective, or there was no financial incentive to do it. It was racing around Europe. But I can't do that anymore. And driving
go,
in
go.
America is not fun.
Yeah,
There's
you
no,
can't do that.
there's no point in even having a Lambo here. I don't know why people even buy luxury cars here. Because it's just traffic. It's just straight highways. I have no temptation to even buy a Lamborghini.
Enemy tag.
Or bring the Bugatti here. It's all a waste of time. I might bring the Bugatti here and drive around Miami just to make a mess and then fly it out again. Just to laugh at Decock so they never
Wall
got it.
trick.
But driving in Europe is a completely different experience. Driving through the Alps in France. And the way you can race around, and the whole place is a race.
Oh yeah.
Spike down B.
So I'm gonna miss it. So we'll have to replace driving with something else. Perhaps shooting. Shooting fun. Depends what you shoot, I guess.
You could blow shit up.
You can blow
I'm
shit
out
up.
of here.
I know exactly.
Last player standing.
We'll do it.
Oh my
You had
god.
a long relationship with him. Your guys' shit's always fucking hilarious together. Are you gonna? He's here.
I know. I need to go see
planted.
You
him.
link up with him or no?
Not yet. I need to go see him. He messaged me. I need to go see him. I don't know what Aiden's day-to-day life is like. What does he do?
He
What
says
does
he
do
hits
with
the
his-
gym every morning.
Oh, fuck
He
off.
says he's.
Fuck off.
Maybe
Aiden Ross
us three
isn't
should
going
all
to
hit a
the gym.
workout.
That would be hilarious. All right, we're gonna work out. Us three.
Let's work out. With
There you
Aiden.
go. Perfect content. I want to see Aiden Ross's gym transformation. I have a feeling he crawls out of bed, drinks some soy latte garbage, sits around scrolling on his phone before he streams, gets overpaid to talk about, and then smokes weed all night.
Thrash
Probably
isn't done with
something
you.
close.
He could be like a texter in between sets. Like the guy that just sits on the chest fly and
One enemy
sends
remaining.
like text.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's
me,
like
though.
Steiny too.
That's me though.
That's you?
Yeah.
You're a texter in between sets?
100%. Yeah. I know it's a bad thing, but I got work to do.
Yeah.
So I just sit there and I just conquer the machine. And I just sit there and text. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how strong he is. I'm gonna go see Aiden. That'll be interesting.
That'd be funny.
I have to get myself back into the American way, the American culture. It is so interesting how different Americans are than most other people.
What's the main difference?
You're a lot more open and friendly than most other people, which is. I guess,
Yeah, like you said,
If you
I'm
sit
maybe
down,
when
I'm
I have a
Asian, so
company,
sorry
I
if you're-
could get some emotes.
I'm sorry.
It's
for
not.
that.
It's not a good
I
time.
feel sorry
It's not
for
a good time right now.
you. Yeah.
It's bad.
But like if you sit
I'll
down at a
show
table
them.
with Americans, and let's say there's like 3 girls or 3 guys,
go.
or whatever, you sit down, you'll say hi to the guys, and the girls are like, oh hi, where you from? What do you do? Everyone's just very friendly. Whereas if you sit down with a table of 10 people in Romania, you'll just say hi to the guys, you'll completely ignore the women. The women won't say a word to you.
Go, go, go.
Cold, no one talks.
This way.
It's very different.
I'm out of here.
America's a lot more open as a society, which is nice.
They say Americans are dicks.
No, I wouldn't say you're dicks. You can accidentally be very annoying when you're seen in like Europe or other, and I'm American too.
Loud.
Yeah, loud, obnoxious.
Enemy spotted
Or just,
A.
like I'm American too, right? I grew up or like Americans will just walk in like baggy shorts and like a vest and a hat.
Out of charges.
Prestigious establishment, and just wander in and they're just different than Europeans. You can just walk.
Absolutely. Last player
Like if you go to
standing.
the casino in Monte Carlo, high road, everyone's in the house.
Spike
And then you can go
planted.
to Las Vegas where they're spending the same money. Everyone's in a tux. And then you can go to Las Vegas where they're spending the same money and they're sitting there in like flip-flops
Yeah.
and shorts
Yeah.
and a t-shirt and they're just spending
Your fashion's
100,000 a
way
hand.
different,
Like
yeah.
they don't try.
Yeah.
So that's what Europeans mock Americans for. Like nobody puts any effort into their appearance.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing.
One thing I think you should do while you're here soon is eventually join Rogan. You think that? Would you like to do that?
Sure. That'd be a very interesting conversation. I don't think, he was getting canceled heavily in the COVID days, but I think he's pretty safe. He's not going anywhere. I was about to say that there was conversations of me doing Joe Rogan long before. Because
My quiver
before
is
I got
never
arrested,
He was down to have you on.
yeah, before I got arrested, I was avoiding America. Here was my completely flawed logic. I thought, I'm way too large now. The Matrix is going to try and get me. Where is the current heart of darkness? Well, it's the liberal establishment of the United States. And we know that to be true because they're spending all their money with USAID to fund all this garbage all around the world. So I was saying, if I stay in Europe and Dubai and I stay out of American politics to the best of my ability,
You're good.
then I might be okay. So I was being invited to America all the time for these podcasts, these huge ones, not just Joe, other very large ones. And I was saying to Tristan, it's Icarus, it's too close to the sun. If I go and blow Joe Rogan up,
B.
we're going to jail. So I tried to avoid all these things, but it didn't work. Because the UK Foreign Secretary and the Secretary of State, Blinken, signed off on my arrest with the Romanians, and they all did a big deal to get rid of me off the internet anyway. So I got wrecked anyway.
Spike
So now I'm at the
planted.
point, well, I may as well go all guns blazing. Same as Elon. Elon tried to be non-political until the Democrats promised to basically put him in jail and take Tesla off him and stop him launching rockets. So then he went all in on the Republicans. He knew Trump had to win, or his whole life was over. So that's what I'm now.
Last player standing.
Actually, as heavily involved as a man. I'm Trump's #1 soldier, and then I'm the soldier for Vance after, and then I hope candidates are right, because otherwise America's
Last
done.
round
I'll run for
in the
president
half.
after, if I don't see anybody who I believe can win it, I'll do it myself, because if these psychos get back in power, my life's over anyway. As is Trump's, they would have locked his ass up, and a bunch of other people. Well, the J6ers would still be sitting in jail. So I'm fully committed now. So that's why I was avoiding America for a long time, and I was avoiding the largest podcasts like Joe. But now I'm in a position where I have nothing to lose. So I would love to do that.
That was great fucking
I would break the internet because also there's still so many things I haven't said. There's still so many things about
Go, go,
corruption
go.
involved
Launching forward.
in
Shock it.
the legal system, not just in Romania, but in America. There's so much I know that I still haven't said because I still have to report to these people. But the
Those
day
are
comes,
lies.
a day will come when light will be shed on the absolute
Unable.
insanity.
Horns
This is why I want a
activated.
lot of people at home to understand as well. I know this is not a particularly whenever anyone decides to
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
understand
If
that
you can't do something right, don't do it at
not
all.
only foreign governments, because Democrats have never got anybody out of jail ever.
Switching
You're being left
sides.
at the mercy of foreign governments, but also the Democrats use foreign governments to lock up people they don't like. So they'll look at you, Kyle, and they'll go, we don't really have charges on them in America. And we can't really try and make something stick here because there's law and it's going to come out that it's a setup, whatever. But he's going to India. He's going to India. They'll send a fucking cable, a diplomatic cable to India, get you picked up in India on some bullshit. Some police officer will pretend you had weed in your pocket when you didn't. You're not sitting in Indian jail. The Dems did it to you. Because they did it to me. You're voting Democrat. You're giving your government the authority to destroy your life anytime you go on holiday ever. Because they use foreign judicial systems. Because then they can sit there and go, the Indians are crazy. We're going to try and get them out. And leave you. You got to be very careful.
That's what
we
happened.
need to, yeah, that's what happened. We have to be extremely careful as Americans.
Take this. I'm out of here.
Republicans, one, stay truly Republican and are not infiltrated by garbage, and two, they stay in power. Otherwise, it's over for basically. It's extremely important.
Running low.
But then let's tie this to other things, right? This is why I even teach the things I teach. The reason I tell men, I don't give a shit about you not being able to pussy. You need to get out there and get strong,
Horns activated.
be motivated, and get as rich as possible. It's because there's no point having an army full of weak soy boys. They're not going to win any war. This is a war. I consider this an ideological
That's a
battle.
spike.
That's why I talk motivation. Why do I wake up and waste my time?
I'm out of
Right
here.
now. Why am I talking
Out of
motivation?
charge.
Last
All
player
day, every day
standing.
to the youth of the world constantly. Because I'm trying to motivate them to be a soldier worth having. It's like when you have an army barracks and you wake them up and you make them sing the songs as they run. I'm trying to motivate all of the youth in the world today so that they can resist the slave mind programming because my life depends on it. As does yours, as does theirs. Why do I teach people how to make money
Control the
online?
space.
Why am I trying to
Control
teach
their
people to become as
choices.
rich as possible? Because broke people aren't useful in the war. No one cares about the brokies. No one cares what the brokies say. You have to be rich to have influence. So I sit there and say, well, if I want to have influence, surely by extension, I want every single fan of mine to have influence. Because then we're a more powerful army. So if you're a fan of mine, I will teach you how to make money. That's why I do it. That's why I have the school where I teach it. That's why I say join the real world for $49 a month and you'll be rich. What's amazing is there are people who will not invest $49 a month in themselves to become monumentally wealthy. Well, those are the people who are no good to
Go,
anyone.
go, go.
If I sit here and you listen to what I say and you agree with what I say,
I
and you
got
understand
spies.
I'm successful and I tell you you can do the same things and it costs
Almost
less than a
out.
fucking pizza and you don't try, well, guess what? You're not worth anything to anyone, including me. So I'm trying my very best to
set.
genuinely shift the culture. The reason I launched the schools because the educational system is one of the ways they're primarily infiltrating people's minds. That's where the woke mind virus is coming from. All these universities and educational systems. You tell somebody, don't go to school, it's full of garbage. You say, I have to go because I need more money. No, you don't. You just take money from home for $49 a month and avoid the woke crap. You don't need to go to school. All of it. I fixed it. Done. Which is another reason they attacked me. Another reason they attacked me is because I own university.com. University.com is mine.
Wow.
The largest online university in the world is mine. It's not Harvard's, it's mine. So I'm taking a lot of money out of these woke psychos' pockets, which piss them off. I don't. Because there are men who join my school for $49 a month,
Gun here.
to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, and say, well, I don't need to go to university.
30
I
seconds
go to my
left.
professor now.
There.
That's another reason they attacked me. I became target number one. These things are necessary. They're extremely necessary. So to all the men out there who are watching this podcast,
I'm out of here.
at the end of this, I hope you take the motivational pieces and you apply them to your life. I also hope you genuinely join the school and become rich. I want all of my fans to be as strong and rich as possible. I want soldiers. I want special forces. Otherwise, we are going to lose. And I'm going to lose first. Because they chop off the king's head first. I'm the first guy they're going to get.
100%.
I'm the first guy. So this is interesting. I have a vested interest in making all of my fans as rich as possible.
Last
Think of someone
player
else who wakes
standing.
up and goes, okay, I have all these fans. I need to make them rich. I have a vested interest in making my fans strong and smart and rich and capable. All of them. If you're a fan of mine, I'm on your team trying to make you better permanently all of the time, or I don't survive. My life is the accountability measure. That's your leverage against me, my entire life. So I'm going to wake up and try and make you rich so that I can survive. And you're going to sit there and go, I don't know if I want to join. Then you're a dumbass. Then you're no good to me. It doesn't get any better than that because your university professor, their life's not on the line if you fail. They don't give a shit. No one gives a shit if you fail. The only person who gives a shit if you fail is me because I want to win. I really want everybody at home who's voting Democrat or thinking liberally or is not trying to get rich or is not dedicated or is not motivated to wake the fuck up and realize we're in the battle for our very existence.
Go, go,
And
go.
it's down to you to not only ensure the good guys win, but to become one of the good guys. And you can't be one of the good guys if you're a weakling or you're broke.
Where do you see like your life in 3 years? How does this chapter wrap up in your mind?
Well, I'm going to be slandered with this garbage for the rest of my life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heavily lean into it. It's fun. You know?
I'm out of here.
I enjoy it. I mean, you saw what the girls did.
You said it to the family. They're like, what do you do? You're like, I
Launching thorns.
They love
They
it.
died.
Women love the trap. Makes the job pretty easy to do.
Enemy
Call you
spotted.
I never thought I'd call you.
Last player standing. Spike down B. Flawless.
So when all this garbage is over, we're probably gonna live on a yacht, live at sea. Kristen's promised we're gonna an eye patch.
I'll isolate the problem.
So we're gonna have an eye patch and a parrot, and we're gonna live somewhere in the ocean. That'd be fun until we get bored of it. Sail the world. It's an icebreaker. It can go through the ice, so we're gonna go up high and down low. We're gonna sail all the oceans. We're gonna go everywhere on our yacht. So we're gonna do that. That's like 3 or 4 years, probably. I have to have more sons. I have to get that done. Raise my army. And those are my primary objectives now. And then to try and make sure the Republicans win and make sure all of my fans are as rich and strong as possible and motivate them every single time I speak. I want the people to leave the podcast feeling energetic and feeling happy and feeling motivated with fire in their blood. The only reason I talk, the only reason I even say words anymore is to try and make the people who listen to me feel like there's some energy inside of them they can use. That's my objective. So I believe that's the best things I can possibly do with my time. I'm really not interested in much else besides having children and putting them all on my yacht. And if any of the mothers get fresh, well, you know, walk the plank. So we'll see how it goes. Well, I saw your video. What was Greenland?
It was pretty sick.
Yeah?
It's nicer than I thought. It's fucking freezing cold, obviously, but I
Eskimo
don't-
village.
yeah, I don't know if that's becoming the 51st state or whatever, but
You know what I love about Trump? I really am such a fan of Trump. I love he's just like, okay, Trump, you're the most powerful person in the world. Okay. Let's take, he just says things. I will take Greenland. Why? I want to. Puts up a
Spike
of
down
America,
A.
Greenland. Just like,
yeah, I don't
he's
know
a
if he's
troll. He's the ultimate troll. It's so funny.
But I think he's serious at the same time.
Of course.
I don't know if he's trolling.
No. But when you troll, you're
Yeah.
only, take it from me. Take it from the man who annoys, I'm the second best man in the world.
I'm out of here.
When you troll,
Spike down A.
that's what makes you a good troll. Like
30
I
seconds
say
left.
things and they go, oh, he's trolling. I'm like, well, I kind of mean it too.
Come on, let's
That's what
go.
makes it funny.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, Trump's hilarious. When he was using Canada, Mexico, and Greenland all at once. It's amazing we're only 39 days into his presidency.
Last player standing.
Even if he's serious too, like even if that's not where the deal's going, like I think. I think that's just
Listen
a
up.
result of
Kill them before they
Canadian
kill us.
leaders, too. Like Trudeau and the position that they put Canada in over the last 10 years. How is it even how's that even something Trump can say?
Of course.
Like, we're gonna take you over. That's how bad the leadership's been in Canada. But also it's like, if your starting position is, yo, we're gonna take you over,
Yeah.
like the deal's probably gonna land somewhere over here, you know what I mean? Which
Part of the
means
deal.
a favorable deal for the U.S.
Well,
which
it's
is
part of the deal.
I've
it's
got you,
smart.
bro.
Yeah.
It's part of the deal, and yeah, self-accountability is the perfect way you just put it.
I'm outta
Canadian
here.
Self-accountability. Canadians should have got Trudeau out.
Out
after
of
COVID.
charges.
They should have marched.
It shouldn't even be something Trump can
well,
say.
yeah,
Like, how is he
they
even
should-
able to say, we're going to take you over?
And all the Canadians who are talking like tough guys now, whatever be the thing, they locked in your fucking house, bro, and you sat there like a bitch, forced you to get vaccinated. Fucking
Last player standing.
complaining about
Flawless.
complaining that America's going to put tariffs on Canadian goods. You know who taxes Canadians the most? Canada.
If you're not a
Their own
good shot
fucking
today,
government rapes you
don't
for every
worry.
penny.
There are
Dude,
other ways
and you
to be
sit there and
useful.
pay Trudeau
Go, go,
half
go.
your paycheck, and then talk like a tough guy on YouTube.
There's a
Shut
lot
up.
there's a lot of smart Canadians. Like, a lot of people are pretty. I have good hopes for Canada. I think there's a lot of smart people there.
Well,
I'm hoping for a big comeback, like kind of like the U.S.
It's operating very similarly to Europe. You have a feminine leader who's basically a girl. You have unchecked immigration. You have insane taxes. You have no growth. And America's operating like a winner. And Europe and Canada is currently operating like losers. Trudeau keeps pulling money out of his ass for Ukraine while this country falls apart. It's a dipshit. But the thing is about life, let's take this away from politics. Let's apply this to life. You can apply this to girls, you can apply this to politics, you can apply this to friendships, you can apply this to business, you can apply this to anything. People are going to take away whatever they can. That's how the world works, right?
Last place.
People are going to steal from you
I'm
as
outta
much as
here.
you let them steal. People are going to abuse you as much as you let them abuse
Enemy
you.
spotted.
So
A.
there has to be a point where you say, no, we're not.
Burn their lives.
Not gonna work. If we are given, and all of us are
My
givers
ult's
to
ready.
some degree, they're going to take until they can't take anymore. That's how the world works. So if you're going to allow Trudeau to run your government and run your country into the ground, so you fuck all about it, and there has to be a bottom line where eventually people stop complying or stop obeying. If people are going to continue to allow it to happen, it's just going to continue forever.
Yeah, we gotta get that guy out.
Well, then you have to ask yourself the question. This is what you have to ask yourself the question about people get exactly what they deserve in this life, and the strong conquer the weak because the weak protect and save themselves. Like if Canada falls,
Last player standing.
part of me is going to be heartbroken, but then part of me is going to be like, well, you had a chance and you just sat there and let it collapse. Like, what do you want to do? Your ship is sinking. There's a hole in your ship. It's getting bigger. You want to do anything about it?
One
Maybe the
enemy
next
remaining.
election. I made a tweet last week, so I really like to think that Americans wouldn't have accepted this election being rigged, which is why they
I'll
didn't
do
rig
my
it.
job. You do
Because they knew.
yours.
They're like, we can't get away with it again. The Americans are not going to have it. Americans are built different.
I guess Americans-
1776.
I guess
built
Americans
different.
have guns too, right?
Well, it's built different. It's not about even shooting people. It's about just showing up and showing the power structures that that you understand what's going on and you're not going to comply any longer. When I look at Trudeau in charge of Canada and I watch Canadians do fucking nothing, part of me is like, well, you deserve it then.
During COVID, there was a lot, but I feel like there's just not enough people.
When I watch
There's a lot of strong
but not
people.
enough.
Yeah.
But when I watch the Brits and Keir Starmer locks them up for 2 years and the Brits do nothing, well then you deserve it. You get what you deserve in this life. You're going to be in an abusive relationship, and you're going to sit there and get shit. And your husband's going to beat the shit out of you. Sit there. Guess what? You're going to get the shit. That's how
My
it's gonna
ultimate's
work.
ready.
If you're going to sit there with an abusive government and let them abuse you, and you're never going to do anything about it, guess what? They're going to abuse you. That's all it's going to be. So Canadians are getting exactly what they deserve, as are Europeans, which is a shit sandwich because they have no fucking balls. And they have no balls because they're scared if they tell the truth, they're going to end up in life.
arsenal!
They're scared of a little bit of jail. Boo-hoo. I'd rather go to jail for a few months and know that I tell the fucking truth and I'm a man.
Closing timeout. All set.
Than sit at home and be worried about a little bit of a jail sentence and watch my country collapse around me and live like a fucking coward forever.
What's the biggest problems with Europe?
Planted.
The same as Canada.
Last player standing.
Energy prices are through the roof.
One enemy remaining.
Collapse. Crime is out of control. Drugs are out of control. And the only thing the police seem to have time for is locking you up for telling the truth on Twitter. Policing your speech. They've taken away free speech because free speech is extremely important for young people and people who are telling the truth to mobilize. Billionaires can lie. A billionaire can stand up in front of you and say he's going to do one thing and actually secretly do another. A billionaire can deceive. The average man can't deceive. The average man has to tell the truth. Finding other people who understand him because our strength is in the numbers. You have to say, Trudeau's a piece of shit robbing this country. You have to be able to say it freely online. So you find other people who say it so you can band together to resist. Because as an individual, you can do nothing. You can only operate in groups.
Match point.
So you can't lie. You can't tweet a lie saying Trudeau's a good president, because then you'll never find your kin. You never find the people who you can mobilize with. Whereas a billionaire can lie. A billionaire can stand up and go, yeah, we're not going to raise taxes, then just simply raise it. So the average man needs free speech. It's extremely important. Without free speech, there's no democracy because there's no power of the people without free speech, which is why Europe and Canada, all these places got rid of it and just wreck everybody. They come at anybody who sticks their head up above the line, including me. Like,
Gotta go.
Did you see Vance? He called out the UK PM in that public Oval Office meeting.
Gee, it had to be done. It had to be done. This is absolutely insane. We as America, we used to go to war with the communists. And people used to die. Young men on both sides used to die. And our justification for these wars were they're communists. They locked their people up for poverty. That was our reason to go to war. Yeah. And now we're calling the Europeans our allies after Zelensky sits and disrespects our president. And the next day, Europe put him on a victory tour around Europe and
Placing wall trap.
shake his hand like he's a fucking hero. These are our friends. What would you do if your friend did that? Your girl cheats on you and all your friends go hang out with her and tell her she's the victim? Are they friends?
No.
No, we haven't even got European.
Rip and tear. Last player standing.
We haven't even got European allies. So I think all of them. If I was Trump, I would be furious. He put Zelensky in his place, and then he gets fucking hyped up again by all these dipshits over there.
So you think it's gonna all shift with Trump, like allies and geopolitics?
America
Defenders win.
Are they pushing Russia and the US?
Yo, y'all fucking ass. So your fucking ass, bitch.
Patriarchies. You have strong nationalistic patriarchies, which is the USA and Russia. We have a lot more in common than we do with these femme-centric, matriarchal, garbage, woke shitholes in Europe. This is the truth. We have more in common with Russia than we do with England currently. The average Russian man will understand the average American man just fine. You won't understand the average Brit who thinks it's wrong to tweet about the native people